smudging these. Actually, for the roof part, what I did was I took a lasso and kind of no, let's just take that part and I'm gonna layer via copy. Just gonna move that over. You can use the arrow keys to position it. It's probably okay. You don't have to be perfect at this resolution. And I'm gonna merge them. So, you know, and get back to my smudge. Again, push everything in. I'm being very rough here. On my actual work, I wasn't so hasty. I'm gonna use a lasso again. I'll layer via copy. Like so. Merge them. Get back my smudge. So basically you just keep pushing the edges in. You don't have to push too far. It all depends on how much you're blurring it. If you're blurring it slightly, you can push a lot less than if you're blurring it a lot. So, you know, but if you're blurring a lot, you don't necessarily have to be precise with it. You just have to keep a general shape because you're gonna blur the background a lot and you're not gonna see any imperfections. So, you know, this technique is quite interesting when you think about it. So, you know, like this, I can push that in a lot. Just gonna, like so. Like so. Like so. For the tank here, it's very good because I can basically push it as far as I want because there's nothing but straight lines here, which is very helpful. As you can see, I'm not losing too much detail here. Just straight lines. It's a little trickier for the side, you have to push sideways. As you can see, I'm kind of retaining the detail. Now, you don't have to be perfect, like I said, because we're going to be blurring this. And, well, I think it's enough. Because I don't really want to waste any more of your time. There we go. So I'm gonna get back to the main layer and basically blur and Gaussian blur around here. But as you can see, we're still getting transparency issues, which is why I wanted to show you the blur now. So what do we do about that? Well, basically what I do is I duplicate the clean layer that we had. Basically this is the clean layer, and I put it beneath this layer, right? And basically I just merge them so I don't have any more transparency. So if I take that layer again, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, 3 point something. And there we have it. As you can see, no haloing. Very nice clean cuts. And it actually looks like it's depth of field. As you can see, no haloing there. And if I disable this, I have no head, my friend has no head, and I have very thin legs. But And as you can see, we're not losing any detail here, even though I smudged it quite a lot, because it's all so blurred that you can't even make it out. How cool is that? And you know, so basically that's it for that part, and I'm gonna use my mouse now. So you can create a vignette then. For the vignette I just use a gradient like so. Oops. Like that. I take the middle and just basically reverse it and enable the rules. And well, let's roughly in the middle, and basically just click out, drag out. There we go. That's a rough vignette. Usually when I do this, I create rulings so I have the middle point and I can make a gradient, which is perfect, but you know, whichever works. And I'm gonna duplicate it, disable one, use a color burn, and for the second one I'm gonna use multiply, and just as needed. There we go. So that's our vignette. Then I usually do some color correction, color grading. You know, you can give it more contrast if you want. This is called the contrast curve. And after that, okay, dismiss that. After that, we can use a photo filter, and I usually use a warming filter, which gives kind of this nice warm look. And you know, if it's too much, you can always adjust the opacity or adjust it in the adjustments panel. So that is that. And quickly we turned this into this, which is quite interesting. Doesn't look all that bad. And since I'm using a really weird matte here, I'm getting very nice grass, which isn't uniform. So, you know, that's cool. And the last thing, if you want to get really good about it, is matching the grain. So what I do is I create a new layer and I fill it with 50% gray, and I use a filter noise, add noise, probably like so. Then I use a blur, probably more blur, like so. And I also give it a mask, because if I don't give it a mask, it will just give noise to everything that we have, and we don't want that, because we already have noise on the unblurred areas. So as you can see, this is what it's gonna look like. And change the noise layer to overlay. It gives this very strong noise. And you can just play around with the opacity till you get something that matches your camera, which I think does pretty well in this case. So, ta-da! That's nice. So, I hope you like it, and since I'm already doing this for over 20, actually about 20 minutes, 20 something, I'm gonna this is probably gonna have to be a part 2. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully you've learned something new. If not, sorry for wasting your time, but most likely you have if you're a beginner. So, you know, please subscribe to my new channel, which is The Ultimate Blooper, and please visit my new page, Facebook page for, if I can open it up, there we go. My internet is acting up today. There we go. If you can, please visit my page where I give, where I kind of post all the previews and tips and tricks and my latest work and work in progress and all that kind of stuff. There's surely going to be something that you haven't seen before. It's also a perfect place for asking questions, because I will reply. And if you're not lazy, please also visit my gallery, which I'm gonna provide a link to in the description, where you can see all this kind of 3D work, so you know that I am proficient with it, actually proficient at it. So, you know, and you know, so hopefully you will like it. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time.